Only 1% of IELTS candidates reach Band 9 in speaking. Why? Because they don't know the secret patterns that examiners are listening for. In this video, I'll show you a perfect Band 9 performance and break down every technique you need to copy. Let's unlock Band 9 together. Part 1. Introduction and Interview. Good morning. My name is David Williams. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Sarah Owens. My family and friends call me Sarah, so please call me Sarah.
Where is your hometown?
My hometown is Sydney, which is one of the largest and most dynamic cities in Australia. It's famous for its stunning harbour, iconic landmarks like the Opera House and Harbour Bridge, and a very relaxed, outdoorsy lifestyle that really reflects the Australian spirit.
What do you like most about your hometown?
What I love most is the coastal lifestyle. You can finish work and be at the beach within 15 minutes. That's something pretty special. The combination of natural beauty, multicultural food, and friendly people makes Sydney a really easy place to fall in love with.
Has your hometown changed much in recent years?
Yes, it has developed quite rapidly. Over the past decade, Sydney has undergone significant urban renewal, marked by the introduction of new transport systems, the construction of more high-rise apartments, and the growth of a thriving cafe culture. At the same time, the city's becoming more environmentally conscious, with initiatives promoting recycling and sustainable living.
Would you like to live there in the future?
Absolutely. Although it's getting more expensive, Sydney still feels like home. I can't imagine living somewhere without that mix of sunshine, open spaces, and cultural diversity. I might move around for work, but I think I'd always come back here.
Do people in your hometown often wear jewelry?
Yes, but in a fairly subtle way. Australians tend to prefer simple, understated jewelry, things like small gold earrings or silver necklaces rather than flashy pieces. It's more about personal style and sentiment than showing off wealth.
Do you like wearing jewelry?
I do, but I keep it minimal. I usually wear a thin silver chain and a wristwatch. I like accessories that are practical and meaningful rather than decorative. For me, less is definitely more.
What kind of jewelry do you usually wear?
I usually wear a bracelet my parents gave me when I graduated from university. It's quite plain, but it means a lot to me emotionally, so I wear it almost every day as a reminder of how proud they were.
Do you think jewelry is a good gift for others?
Definitely, jewelry makes a timeless and sentimental gift, especially when it's chosen thoughtfully. It can mark an important milestone like a birthday, graduation, or engagement, and every time the person wears it, they remember the occasion.
Have you ever bought jewelry for someone else?
Yes, I once bought a necklace for my best friend's birthday. She loves the ocean, so I chose one with a small pendant shaped like a wave. She absolutely loved it and still wears it all the time, which makes me really happy.
Part 2. Cue card. Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to prepare. You can take notes if you want. Here is your cue card. Describe a meal you tried for the first time. You should say what the meal was, when and where you had it, who you were with, and explain how you felt when you tried it for the first time. 1 minute for preparation is over. Please begin when you are ready.
I'd like to talk about the first time I tried Thai green curry, which was about 3 years ago, at a small restaurant in Sydney. I'd heard a lot about how flavorful Thai food was, but I'd never actually tried authentic Thai curry before. One evening, some colleagues and I decided to go out for dinner after work, and one of them suggested a Thai restaurant that had just opened near Circular Quay. When the curry arrived, I was amazed by the aroma. It had this rich blend of coconut, lemongrass, and basil. At first, I was a little worried it might be too spicy for me, but the taste was absolutely delicious. It had just the right amount of heat, balanced with a creamy texture that made it really comforting. What struck me most was how the flavors were so layered and complex, yet harmonized beautifully. It was nothing like the food I'd grown up with, but it instantly became one of my favorites. Since then, I've tried making it at home. Not as good as the restaurant's version, of course, but it really opened my mind to trying more cuisines from different cultures. It was a memorable experience that completely changed the way I think about food.
Part 3. Discussion. Abstract topics. How have people's eating habits changed over time?
People's eating habits have changed dramatically. In the past, Australians cooked most meals from scratch and ate together as families. These days, with busy schedules, a lot of people rely on takeout or ready-made meals. However, there's also been a growing interest in healthy eating, vegan options, and organic produce, so it's a bit of a mix between convenience and health consciousness.
Why do some people enjoy cooking while others do not?
It really depends on personality and priorities. Some people see cooking as a creative outlet, almost like an art form, while others see it as a chore, especially if they're pressed for time. Enjoying cooking also has a lot to do with how confident someone feels in the kitchen.
Do you think it's important for children to learn how to cook?
Without a doubt, cooking teaches kids independence and responsibility. It also helps them understand nutrition and appreciate where food comes from. In Australia, a lot of schools actually include basic cooking lessons, which I think is a fantastic initiative.
How does technology affect the way people prepare meals today?
Technology has had a huge impact. From smart ovens to food delivery apps, everything's become faster and more convenient. People can look up recipes instantly or even watch video tutorials while cooking. It's made learning new dishes much more accessible.
What role do traditional dishes play in your country's culture?
Traditional dishes are a big part of our identity. Australia is incredibly multicultural, so our traditional food is actually a fusion of different cuisines: British, Asian, Mediterranean, you name it. But I'd say dishes like meat pies, lamingtons, and pavlova still hold nostalgic value and bring people together during national events.
Do you think people will cook at home less in the future?
Possibly, yes. With the rise of food delivery services and AI-driven appliances, people might rely more on convenience food. But I think there will always be a portion of society that enjoys cooking because it's therapeutic and deeply personal. There's something satisfying about preparing a meal with your own hands that technology can't quite replace.
Carefully listen to the analysis of responses. Let's start with part 1. When the examiner asks Sarah a basic question, "Where is your hometown?" Sarah delivers 3 powerful things in her response. First, she adds context when she says, "one of the largest and most dynamic cities," instead of just naming the place. Second, it uses advanced vocabulary naturally, for example, stunning, iconic, outdoorsy lifestyle. Third, she connects the city to national culture with reflects the Australian spirit. Sarah doesn't just answer the question, but she paints a picture. When asked if Sydney has changed, notice this balanced structure. The discourse marker, at the same time, shows sophisticated thinking. SAR isn't just listing changes, she is showing 2 parallel trends. Words like urban renewal and environmentally conscious are advanced but used naturally, not forced. In addition, Sarah uses topic-specific examples such as transport systems, high-rise apartments, and cafe culture. These prove Sarah really knows their topic. When asked about jewelry, Sarah delivers interesting responses. The phrase, "but in a fairly subtle way," immediately qualifies the answer, showing sophistication. The contrast between understated and flashy demonstrates precise vocabulary. The final observation about personal style and sentiment versus showing off wealth shows cultural insight. This transforms a simple yes-no question into a mini cultural commentary. Finally, notice this personal detail. "I usually wear a bracelet my parents gave me when I graduated from university. It's quite plain, but it means a lot to me emotionally, so I wear it almost every day as a reminder of how proud they were." This is Band 9 storytelling in part 1. The speaker gives a specific item, bracelet, a specific occasion, graduation, and an emotional reason, reminder of parents' pride. The phrase quite plain, but it means a lot to me emotionally, shows the contrast between material value and sentimental value. This kind of personal depth makes your answer unforgettable. Let's now shift to part 2, where Sarah creates a memorable story. The opening sentence sets the scene perfectly. She immediately gives all the essential information. What? Thai green curry. When? 3 years ago. Where? Small restaurant in Sydney. The phrase, I'd like to talk about is more natural than I will talk about. Being specific about Thai green curry instead of just Thai food shows precision. Saying small restaurant instead of just restaurant adds detail that makes the story feel real. Then comes context that shows honesty. I'd heard a lot about how flavorful Thai food was, but I'd never actually tried authentic Thai curry before. The word authentic is important. It shows the speaker can distinguish between real Thai food and westernized versions. The phrase I'd heard a lot about but never actually tried creates anticipation. This is good storytelling. The phrase at first I was a little worried shows honest emotion. The contrast word but signals a pleasant surprise. Absolutely delicious is enthusiastic without being overdramatic. This emotional journey, worry, relief, delight, is what makes stories engaging. Sarah uses the phrase, what struck me most, to introduce reflection. The conclusion connects the experience to personal growth. Sarah says, it was nothing like the food I'd grown up with, but it instantly became one of my favorites. Since then, I've tried making it at home. Not as good as the restaurant's version, of course, but it really opened my mind to trying more cuisines from different cultures. This does several smart things. First, it contrasts with the past. Nothing like the food I'd grown up with. Second, it shows lasting impact. Instantly became one of my favorites. Third, it shows action. I've tried making it at home. The humble admission, not as good as the restaurant's version, of course, adds authenticity. Nobody believes you're suddenly a master chef. Finally, the broader reflection opened my mind to trying more cuisines from different cultures, elevating a simple food story into a story about personal development. The final sentence brings it all together. It was a memorable experience that completely changed the way I think about food. This conclusion circles back to the beginning and emphasizes transformation. The phrase, completely changed the way I think, shows a significant impact. This is band 9 because it's not just, I liked the curry. It's, this experience changed my perspective on an entire aspect of life. Lastly, let's look at part 3 analysis. Sarah demonstrates critical thinking. When asked how eating habits have changed, Sarah uses a perfect pattern. Strong opening statement, changed dramatically, then past, in the past, then present, these days. The phrase, from scratch, is idiomatic and natural. For a question about why people have different attitudes toward cooking, Sarah uses the phrase, it really depends on, that immediately shows nuanced thinking. The comparison creative outlet versus chore uses strong contrast. The phrase, almost like an art form, is sophisticated. Using almost shows precision. The addition, especially if they're pressed for time, not if they don't have time, uses idiomatic language naturally. For the technology question, Sarah starts with the phrase huge impact, which is direct and strong. She gives specific examples such as smart ovens and food delivery apps showing real knowledge. Listing specific dishes, meat pies, lamingtons, pavlova, proves authentic topic-related knowledge. This final observation elevates the entire answer. Instead of just predicting the future, the speaker reflects on human nature and our need for hands-on creative activities. This is band 9, showing not just knowledge but wisdom. Key takeaways for students. Part 1. Don't just answer questions, add context, specific details, and personal observations. Use phrases like, what I love most, that's something special, and it really depends on. Part 2. Tell stories with sensory details, emotional honesty, and personal reflection. Use phrases like, what struck me most, at first I was worried but, and this completely changed. Part 3. Show critical thinking by acknowledging complexity. Use, however, on the other hand, it depends on, and always add examples from real life. Don't just state opinions. Explore ideas from multiple angles. Overall, Band 9 is about being natural, specific, thoughtful, and reflective. It's not about using difficult words. It's about expressing complex ideas clearly and showing genuine engagement with every question. Subscribe so you do not miss 2 videos I publish weekly. All the best in your preparation.